opening and you go get the ball.
You had first half, 8 turnovers, 5 of them in that first quarter. That really spelled some trouble for you. You got down 17-8. You played fairly even in the second quarter. I felt like kind of got your footing maybe a little bit. At that point, you go in down 16. What's the mindset coming out for that second quarter? Or second half? What kind of adjustments did you try to make?
We talked about, we can't be late. We got to get a hand up. They ended up, I think, hit 10 threes against us, and we just come off the night before we gave up 12 threes. So we continued to talk about getting a high hand and talking on our defensive end when we were switching, because that's what we do, and the communication wasn't there. And then offensively, we talked about, if they're going to trap, if your man goes to trap, you got to find the opening and take advantage of those 4-on-3 opportunities. I thought we did a better job on the offensive end the second half in terms of taking care of the basketball, but defensively we just didn't have it.
And indeed, you did. You only had 5 turnovers in total in the second half, whereas you had those 5 early ones in the first quarter. And I really felt like, and so did Coach Gibson, that we kept talking about it. This is a game where I felt like if we could get it down to around 8 at the end of the third quarter, that we'd be in good shape and give ourselves an opportunity. And in that third quarter, you played pretty even with them. As a matter of fact, you were able to get it down at one point. They're either at the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. You got it chipped down to about 12. But at that point, it seemed like those tired legs and some of that stuff you talked about earlier started to kind of take its toll.
Yeah, and that's part of, when you get down big, you have to exert so much energy just to get back into a ball game. And that's what makes, trying to pull off a comeback so hard, when you exert all that energy and then you just don't have anything left in the tank to really try and take it over.
Senators end up falling again, 69-54 on the back end of the double dip weekend. Last weekend up at Lagodi, and now with a 1-2 record here early in the season, maybe still trying to find a little bit of an offensive identity to hang your hat on. You now welcome in a very tough challenge, probably your biggest challenge before the Christmas break, and that's your conference opener tonight here at home with the Paoli Rams. So kind of take us through their personnel, Coach, first, and what they have back.
Well, they bring back a lot. I mean, they have 6 seniors. They have Brett Bosley, and then they have the Bobbitt kid as a junior. So they're bringing back a ton of experience, and they have that on their side. Along with that experience, those kids are athletes. If you can start at the point guard position with Ty Lawson, he's a senior guard, and he really makes them go. He pushes the tempo, gets out in transition, and they look to run a lot of isolation stuff for him as well. You've got Jordan Clark, another senior, and that kid's out there, and he's a sniper. If you give him any breathing space, you're probably going to be giving up a 3. So he really talked about not losing him and getting a high hand. Then you have Carter Elliott, another senior guard, looking to penetrate. When he gets in there, he's looking to dish off to one of the bigs or kick out to a 3-point shooter. Then you've got Ashton Minton. He's another senior. He's forward/center. He's an undersized guy, but he is their best post player. They run a lot of stuff to get him down on the block, and he really works well from 15 feet and in. He's got excellent post moves, knows how to use his body to get position. He's got a nice shot fake, got a good spin move in the post. And then you've got Brett Bosley, 6'6" sophomore. And, he's a freak athlete. They run a lot of things, to also pin him down on the post. But he looks more comfortable, outside. He wants to be that slasher, penetrator type of guy. So we've got to really contain and close out on him. And it's a focus of ours. We don't want to give up that highlight reel dunk to him tonight.
And you mentioned it with Lawson. Obviously, they like to get some guys isolated in mismatches, and Bosley's another guy, along with Minton and Lawson, that they can do that with. And uncharacteristically so, you talk about him being very athletic. At 6'6", with his frame, you would think, wow, this is a guy that may be able to use his length on the block to get a variety of post moves. But this is a kid that likes to play the perimeter, I think, just as well as the post.
Yeah, I think he's definitely more comfortable on the perimeter. He gets down on the post, but I think that's more Dusty putting him down on the post. I think if it were up to him, he would play all night on the perimeter. But at 6'6", I mean, he gets down there, he can do some damage.
You look at this roster, and as you said, 6 seniors, a lot of veteran leadership, a lot of guys that's been around for a lot of games, and they've kind of seen the best and worst of Paoli basketball. But with a group with such high expectations and such experience, you know as well as I do, it's easy to throw a lot on their plate, you know, expectation-wise. And defensively, when you have a veteran group, you can do a lot of different things. What do they do well?
They really want to pressure the basketball, and they want to trap all over the place. We're gonna see 1-2-1-1 full court. We're gonna see 1-2-2 in the half court, and these aren't soft zone presses in the half court. They're gonna look to trap. They're gonna trap all over the place. When they do go man, it's gonna be kind of what we saw at Lagodi. They're gonna run and jump all over the place. So we've talked a lot about communicating to each other and taking advantage of those 4-on-3 opportunities that they give us.
When you look at their size, of course, Bosley at 6'6", Minton, like you said, undersized at 6'2", but a strong post presence for them. And then you look at our guys and how they may match up. What do you do to kind of curb a little bit of that? And in turn, how do you get our guys going? I know that Harrison and Jakes, they've had some good outings, and both of them played well against Eastern last Friday night. But one thing that stands out to me whenever I refer to getting them going a little bit is the free throws, because right now through 3 games they're a combined 5 of 12 from the free throw line.
Yeah, they are, and we work on that on a daily basis. You know, just getting more comfortable at the line, you know, getting there more often, I think would really help out. But in terms of offensively, what we can do, we need to really take care of the basketball. And when they give us, I don't know how often we're going to get to run half-court offense, because they're just going to run and jump all over the place. But controlling that tempo and not letting them make us rush shots and then getting back in transition is going to be a huge key tonight.
And transition D as well as second chance opportunities. It seemed like we gave up several of those at Lagodi.
We did, and that was in terms of them being more physical than us. We talked about that as well. You know, we need to be the aggressors, especially on the defensive end, in terms of boxing out and really chasing down the boards, not just holding your box out and hoping it lands in your lap. We need to start going after rebounds, because we want to get out in transition at times. I think, you know, if they go to that zone, you can beat that zone back, but you've got to be able to get a rebound to do that.
For us, personnel-wise, who's our big X factor tonight?
I think it's going to boil down to our guards. You know, can they handle that pressure tonight? Can we take care of the basketball? I truly believe if we can, you know, stay around 10 turnovers or less tonight, the Rams are going to be in for a ball game.
Coach, finally, talk to us about the health of your team after a week of practice and stuff. Everybody healthy coming into this conference opener, and what your lineup will look like.
Yeah, everybody's healthy. You know, we've had a week basically off to just practice and work on us. We didn't have a game Tuesday, so everyone's healthy. Starting lineup tonight, we're going to have Holden Bowsman, Caden Abels, Parker Green at the guard spots, Harrison Sanford and Jake Strange in the post, and then the first 3 off the bench will be Mikey Nichols, Bobby Stevens, and Chase Farmer.
Senators set at 1-2, and they entertain the 3-1 Paoli Rams in tonight's conference opener here inside the friendly confines. Coach, as always, thanks for the talk, and look forward to seeing you after the ball game.
Thank you.
Coach Sullivan here on our Senator Tip-Off pregame show. Stick with us. We'll have more in a moment. You're listening to Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
Back here for the final time to the Ron Smith Court as we close out our Senator Tip-Off pregame show this evening. Let's get you set quickly for tonight's contest with our keys to victory, brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. First and foremost, we've already talked about it. We got to be glass cleaners, got to keep the Rams off of their offensive glass and keep them out of those second chance scoring opportunities. Secondly, it'll be transition D. Coach Gibson talked about it. Got to get back and find guys like Lawson and Clark in transition because they will kill you on runouts. And then number 3, and probably most importantly, our perimeter puzzle. If we can get our offensive flow going, we can get some shots to go from downtown, it might open things up for us a little bit on the inside. Otherwise, you might see them pack it in on us and force us to try to beat them from downtown. And those are our keys to victory, brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors. Here on our Senator Tip-Off pregame show, they're a proud sponsor of the Senators on Salem's 1220. Stop in and check out their selection of new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot just south of the square. Their showroom and lots located at 207 South Main Street in Salem, or you can call the fine folks at Eddie Gilstrap Motors by phoning 812-883-3401 to talk to a sales associate. That will do it for our Senator Tip-Off pregame show. We will step aside for the national anthem, and then when we come back here inside the friendly confines, we'll get you set with tonight's starting lineups. We'll be back. Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium here in Campbellsburg. Senators set to open up the PLEC portion of their 2018-2019 basketball schedule. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors just south of the square in Salem. First for the Paoli Rams, coming in with a record of 3-1 on the year. This is also their first conference game. Head coach is Dusty Cole, 88-53 in his 7th year. His team averages 64.8 points per game, and they give up 57 per contest. Their last outing was a win on Saturday night of last week down at Lanesville against Michael Miller's Eagles, a 72-56 rout. They will start a 2-guard set, which is really more of a hybrid 3-guard set in my opinion. They'll start number 14, Ty Lawson, a 5'10 sophomore at 15.5 points per game. At the point, he'll be joined in the backcourt by 24, Kobe Bobbitt, a 5'10 junior at 3.5 points per game. At the 3 spot, which is more of that hybrid point forward, if you will, is Jordan Clark, 6'1 and a senior at 9.5 points per game, another senior on this club. And then up front, it'll be Ashton Minton, 6'2 and a senior at 11.8 points per game, and Brett Bosley, the 6'6 sophomore at 17 points per contest for Dusty Cole's Rams, coming in with that record of 3-1 on the year. And now for the West Washington Senators, head coach Clayton Sullivan, 1-2 in his first year here in Campbellsburg at the helm of the program. His club's averaging 58, giving up 59, so playing neck and neck right now with opponents, just on the wrong side of the win-loss ratio. Their last outing was a 69-54 loss up at the famed Jack Butcher Arena to the Lagodi Lions on Saturday night. They'll start a 2-guard set. Number 2, Holden Bousman, 6'1 and a sophomore at 11.7 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Holden filling it up in the stat column. He'll be joined in the backcourt by the senior 5'9 guard number 11, Caden Abels, at 4.7 points per game and just about 2.5 rebounds per contest. That hybrid 3 spot for the Senators will go to number 12, Parker Green, a 6'1 sophomore at 17.7 points per game and nearly 7.5 boards per contest. They'll be joined up front by the forwards, 24, Harrison Sanford, 6'3 and a junior at 9.5 points per game and 8 boards to lead the team in that category. And number 32, Jake Big Dog Strange at 6'5 and a sophomore. Jake's averaging 8.3 points per contest and almost 6 rebounds per outing as well. Series the last 30 years has went to the Rams, but West Washington has won 4 of the last 5. Paoli snapped a 4-game losing streak with the win at home last December. In fact, December 8th of 2017, 65-52 the final in that one. Mikey Nichols led all scorers for the Senators with 20 points, which was a career high. Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officials will be Mr. Mike Benham, Billy Schaefer, and running the show for the crew will be Mr. Tim Young, longtime head coach for the Lady Patriots of Vincennes Reveille. Senators in the home white threads, the Under Armour unis trimmed in red and blue with blue letters and numerals trimmed in red, and that flying W on the side of their shorts. Paoli in the purple duds trimmed in gray, trimmed in gold, with gray letters and numerals trimmed in gold. As we're set to get underway, Tim Young will step into the flying W at midcourt on the Ron Smith court. Senators will go from left to right to start things out tonight on your 1220 AM dial. Glad to have you along with us, Misty Jones, alongside of Mark Gibson here on the 1220 dial. Paoli opens up as they control the early tip. They'll get it out quickly to Clark. Deep 3 won't go. And there to fight for the board was Bosley over Parker Green. His putback won't go. Parker's fighting for the rebound and able to save it in to Holden. So Senators escape second chance point opportunities, which we talked about in the pregame, as one of our keys to victory. Got to limit them on the offensive glass, Coach.
Yeah, we talked about it before. Yeah, you give these guys, as good as they are, second chance points, we'll be in trouble all night long.
Rams come out a little man-to-man defense in the half court to open things up for Dusty Cole's ball club. 45 seconds into this one, ball deflected away, and it'll stay with the Senators at this end. Again, Senators on your dial from left to right in this first half of play on their home floor. Senators at 1-2 on the year. Rams at 3-1, both opening up conference play here tonight with this matchup.
They're really getting after us defensively, you know, like Lagodi did. I want to see if we handle that physicality a little bit a little bit better than Saturday, but come up with a little turnover there.
Struggled with it on that possession as couldn't get anything off of the inbounds play, but a turnover. First one of the night for either ball club, so Ty Lawson will take it from Minton, and he'll walk it into the front court, and he'll be picked up by Holden. And as the Senators work a little man-to-man themselves, and they get an isolation. Nice set play for Ashton Minton, the senior. Minton able to take it to the rack across the lane. A little sweeping hook action off the glass. He's got a chance for an and one opportunity. First free throws of the night for the ball club as Minton goes to the stripe. 8 of 12 on the year for 67%. Senior's first shot of the night from the line is up and good. And just like that, Paoli out to a 3-0 advantage.
And we got to be stronger than that.
Senators turn it over against the full court pressure on the kick out. Minton again, this time from downtown, and Ashton opens things up with 6 consecutive points. And the Rams off to a good start here on the road against the Senators. Holden has his pocket picked again, just like the start of the Lagodi game. Had it swiped away from behind, and the Senators get it back and then give it right back. Minton missed the shot. Clark there to get the rebound, and he'll be fouled. That'll be our first foul of the night. And the foul is going to go, I believe, against Parker Green. So check that to be the second. Harrison had the first one a while ago on Minton on the and one opportunity. So a quick timeout on the floor called by Coach Sullivan. 6:26 to go here in this first quarter of play. Again, glad to have you along with us as the Senators trail it here early, and it was the fast start we expected for the Rams.
And yeah, and just like, our first possession, we didn't get a shot, had a little travel. Second possession, after the free throw was made by Minton, just like Saturday, nobody talks. Holden's coming down the court, nobody talks. A guy comes from behind, they get a steal, led to a three-pointer. We talked about it. Coach Sullivan talked about it. You got to be able to communicate when you're off the ball. Your guy leaves, somebody's got to help him out.
If they score off this inbounds play, That'll be second chance points opportunities again because it was Clark who was able to wrangle in the offensive board off of the Minton miss from the back-to-back-to-back turnovers. And Bosley down low works against Parker Green, and able to score at will. Bosley's got his first basket of the night. First points for him, makes it 8-0, and another steal. And another foul here. So we'll see Mikey Nichols quickly off the bench. That's an 8-0 start here for the Rams. Abels will check out of the ball game after the Senators' 5th turnover. Nichols in, a 5'9" senior as well, averaging 3.7 points per game.
That's 4 steals for the Rams already. This pressure's already taken its toll. They have 4 steals, and we haven't even attempted a shot yet.
Bosley will go right back in against Green. And Parker will pick up his second personal. So Senators already working with a little bit of foul trouble. Mike Benham with the call. And that will send the 6'6" sophomore Brett Bosley to the free throw line. Bosley on the line. 10 of 12 thus far on the year for 83%. First one's up and good, so give him 3 points here early. It's been the Bosley Minton show down low. Substitution for the Rams. And Carter Elliott, the 6'2" senior, will check in for his first minutes of the night. And Hobie Bobbitt will have a seat.
Yeah,
for
it's
the
kind of
Rams.
scary when Lawson hasn't even scored yet. It's 9-0, so that's maybe we hold him down, but we gotta play more physical. We have to play more confident. They're gonna pressure us until we prove that we can solve it.
10-0 here as Bosley nearly able to strip it away on the far sideline. It'll stay with the Senators. Just over 2 minutes gone by in this opening quarter. 10-0 right out of the gate. Rams jump all over West Washington. Senators set to inbound, box set for them. Far corner, Nichols to trigger it in. Tried to find Holden on a back cut. They missed him and then threw it away into the backcourt. And there to scoop it up and score was the senior point guard, Ty Lawson. And right on cue from Coach Gibson, he has his first points of the night. It's 12-0 now for the Rams to start. Holden into the front court, gives it off. Abels, 3, won't go from the corner. Rebound pulled down by the freshly inserted Carter Elliott. Quickly to the other end, Lawson takes it in strong, splits 2 defenders and goes in for his second basket. Coach Sullivan will burn another one, and that is a 14-0 run to start the game. And this time Coach Sullivan will burn a full timeout to settle his troops with 5:31 to play here in the first. It's a 14-0 start for the Rams. We'll come back with more first quarter action right after this word from one of our sponsors.
Lynx Clothing and Shoes carries a wide variety of items from name brand clothing and shoes to sports apparel and sporting goods. We offer custom screen printing and embroidery, free gift wrapping, alternations, and layaway. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5:30, Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturday, 9 to 5. We are conveniently located on the north side of the Salem Square. We are a family-owned and operated business. Stop by and see us today. 812-883-4154.
Go here in the opening frame. Senators already in a deep hole. 14-0. Rams on top. Holden double team. Clark chasing from behind, and he'll let traffic clear, and the Senators will try to finally settle into a little man offense here as Abels at 5'9" gets it swatted away by the 6'1" Clark into the other end. Lawson in transition for 2 more. He's got 6 here in the quarter. Make it now a 16-0 run to start the game. Holden gets it in pressure, full court, able to slow things up, and now he'll look to attack, and we'll have a whistle and a foul on the floor. 3 already whistled against the Senators. Parker setting with 2. Harrison's got 1. And foul will be whistled against the Rams' Carter Elliott. So he gets 1 off the bench here early. 3 minutes gone by here in this opening act as Holden gets it. Nifty move behind the back to save it. Bobby Stevens into the ball game, and he finishes off glass, and that ends a 16-0 run. Bobby Stevens, a 5'9" sophomore.
Oh, boy.
Into the game. And Bosley able to get back to the other end quickly and score. 18-2. Now business starting to pick up as Sanford answers at the other end. Didn't even see the basket from Bosley.
Oh, you missed it because it was a nice little slamma-jamma.
18-4. Bosley misses from downtown, and then Bobby comes up with the rebound but turns it over. And Lawson scores again. Give him now 8 already as the pace frenzies, and it's another turnover. That's now 8, and the wheels sputtering off here quickly. Substitutions. Jake Strange will come back into the ball game. Chase Farmer, a 6'1" junior, will check in. So Harrison will set with Bobby, and it'll be Nichols out there with Abels, Strange, Farmer, and Bousman. 20-4 and a nightmarish start for the Senators.
Exactly, nightmare. The only silver lining, not even 4 minutes has gone by, so there's plenty of time. That is the only silver lining right now.
Pace is so frenzied. They already missed a dunk. You know that can't be good. Into the ball game, Austin Carmichael, a 5'10" senior for Dusty Cole's group with this 16-point cushion here early as the Rams come up dry and Holden pulls a defensive board. They dip under the halfway point of this first quarter. 20-4 your score. As Abels controls left side, he'll be jumped by Minton off the switch and off the hedge from the screen out top off the dribble handoff. Mikey Nichols now has it, stops, pops, a little 14-footer just inside the right elbow to go. Nichols has his first point of the night off the bench, and it's 20-6.
Did a better job of getting back on defense that time. You know, after our first score, everybody's just so relieved we scored. Nobody got back, and Bosley slammed it.
Lawson will reset, and they're trying to get Minton against somebody he knows all too well, Holton Bousman, and underneath a miss for the Rams, a rare miss at that here in this first quarter, as it was Carter Elliott who could not come up with the finish at the rack. Holden, control out front against Elliott, gives it off now to Nichols' right side. Couple dribbles in the basketball, run and jump. They'll give it off to Jake. He'll go in and they'll flop underneath. Jake finishes. Standing there with the flop was Carmichael. Saw that one coming, that being telegraphed. That'll be turnover number 9, and for Jake, that'll be his first foul. And the 4th foul against the Senators in the half, as we'll see Harrison Sanford check back in. Hobie Bobbitt will check in. Minton will check out. We'll also see Carter Elliott check out as well. So for the Rams, Hobie Bobbitt back in there with Bosley, Carmichael. Also into the ball game, Mason Buchanan, a 6'2" senior, and Lawson on the floor as well. Dribble drive, take left side, another Senator foul. And Coach Sullivan, not much he can do but put the hands in the pocket right now and wipe the brow. 2:44 to go here in the first. Harrison will pick up his second personal. That's 5 now against the team, and that'll send Ty Lawson to the free throw line. First free throw up and good. So Lawson already with 9 in the quarter. 21-6. Harrison out, Farmer back in, trading junior for junior as he pulls down the board. Lawson misses the free throw, their first miss of the night. And to the other end, Senators just cannot convert, but then Paoli's going to turn it over on a travel by Carmichael in the backcourt. Their second turnover of the period.
You got to go with that. You got to attack it. If he blocks it. So we went passive to the goal, and he still blocked it. So you might as well go in. You know, and the one on Jake's, I thought it was a good call. He needs to jump stop and just shoot over him. The guy was 5'8". You're 6'5".
Going to have to try to throw it in, and Holden tries to throw it to Jake on a lob over Bosley. And
another turnover. Whoa, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, they started to signal that it had been touched, but it was not. Coach Sullivan will double check with Mr. Schaefer to make sure, but it will be turnover number 10 already in the half and of this first quarter. Lawson goes back to work. Senators trying to match up. They got a little 2-1-2 action going on with Bosley in the middle of it. Lawson will give it back to Hobie Bobbitt on the wing, or check that to Buchanan. Buchanan misses from downtown, coming up on a 2-minute warning here. What seems like we've already played a half. It's been a fast and furious pace at 21-6. And then Nichols trying to lob it in over Bosley again. Nichols will turn it over, and the Rams give it right back. So
Farmer's
of like
playing really nice.
kind of like the pace we had with Eastern last Friday night here. What it is about playing teams with purple and gold, but Senators dry on another possession. Bobby Stevens will check in. Next dead ball, we'll also see the first minutes of the season for the Rams. Parker Sullivan, a 6'3" junior, who's been out with a sprained knee. Lawson has it out front. Lob it up top now on the wing to Bosley. He'll take it in strong against Strange. Air balls the layup. Rebound fought for. And they're going to say, I believe Bosley had control of the ball, but stepped on the baseline out of bounds. So that'll be turnover number 4. Bosley will set down. Carmichael will set down. Lawson will set down. So maybe an only 8 or 9 man rotation, but Coach Cole getting the most out of his bench already in this one.
Yeah, when it's 21-6, I mean, you can feel good about running guys in and out to keep them fresh, especially if they're going to keep the pressure on.
Full court pressure, a little 1-2-1-1 for the Rams. Holden stops, hesitation against Minton, almost caused him to go to the floor. He's doubled up. Holden tries to throw out of trouble and does to Abels. He'll reset it. 75 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Senators go into their half-court set. Stevens with it right side to Holden. Touch pass, quick pass to Farmer, and he's tied up underneath, and the jump ball arrow will go to the Senators with 1:07 to play here. And a quick substitution. Lawson got all of about 45 seconds of a breather, and it will send Mason Buchanan back to the bench. Senators to reset, Stevens to inbound. They'll get Farmer coming to the block ball side. He'll kick out to Holden, who thought about a shot. Instead, he'll try to go off the dribble. Counted and one as he worked against Kobe Bobbitt. That's Holden's first points of the night and a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play opportunity. This will be the second foul whistled against the Rams, and for Bobbitt, his first.
Needed that one. We talked about it last weekend. Lagodi seemed like Holden started to like when he goes in like that, going to the offhand, but he kept dominant that time. I liked it.
Holden finishes with the free throw on the year, a 60% free throw shooter, but gets that one to fall, make it 21-9. Minton brings it into the front court and lays it off to Clark, now right wing. He'll dribble drive, spin, get into the paint, or partially into the paint, throws up a wild shot. It ricochets off the glass, and now Holden will try to push him transition against Bobbitt. Slows it up right side, gives it up now to Bobby Stevens as Holden weaves through traffic. Stevens now to Farmer, back over to Abels left side. To Holden, thought about it, he'll drive, kick out. Abels, wide open three, couldn't get it to go. Nice follow, nice rebound by Bausman, crashing the boards on the weak side. 5 straight for Holden, and he makes it a 10-point game at 21-11. Got to buckle down here.
Yeah, big stop at the end of the quarter.
Nothing changes. The Rams will have it out of the quarter break.
I would expect to see Lawson or a pick and roll or something.
1-4 low set here. He'll drive, have it swiped. It's going to go. Oh! Coach Sullivan arguing for Schaefer to talk to Mike Benham to see if that went off of Lawson's knee. Sure looked like it might have as he got it swiped away. Tim Young will stay across and let him talk it out, and it will stay with the Rams. It's going to be a 1-4 low set here, and they're going to try to lob it in, and they get it to Bosley, and he throws up a brick off the back iron. Holden will fire from three-quarter court. It will be short, and that's the way the first quarter will come to a close. Senators show some grit to close out the opening act here as they cut it to a 10-point deficit at 21-11. We'll come back with second quarter action. You're listening to Senator Basketball.
If an individual student athlete or team wins a high school state championship, it's an amazing thing. It's also just the icing on the cake. That's because young people in Indiana who participate in education-based athletics are already winners. Studies show that win or lose, participation helps to impart skills they can use to enjoy greater success in other areas of their lives. School sports teach the benefits of teamwork, the value of self-motivation, and the importance of accountability. They also help to foster stronger work habits and higher levels of self-esteem. In other words, the true value of school sports can't be measured in terms of wins or losses. If an individual or team goes to state, it's an incredible accomplishment. But regardless of the outcome, today's student athletes are already destined to go far. School sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Senators fall behind early, 16-0, but they're able to close out on an 11-5 run of their own to end the period. As it's a 21-11 game, and right out of the gate, Bosley misses a jumper from the free throw line to open up play here in the second stanza. 15 seconds in, Senators back to work, and they turn it over once more. That's now 12 turnovers in the half, and Clark for three from the left corner gets it to go, and he's their sharpshooter. Ends that little drought for the Rams, make it 24-11, and Clark has his first points of the night to join Lawson, Minton, and Bosley already into the scoring column. See a little 1-2-2 half-court run and jump here as Minton tries to close out on Nichols. Does. He couldn't get the three to go. Underneath, Holden, nice feed to Jake. Had he shot blocked. Jake will try to chase it down and does to the corner. Holden, three, top of the key. Bingo! Holden's got 8 here in the first half, trying to keep pace with Clark and company, and it's now 24-14. Bosley underneath, off glass, couldn't get it to go, and he'll be bumped and fouled by Jake Strange, who picks up his second personal team foul, number 6. Big answer there, Coach, for King Trade baskets, but a big answer for Holden to answer that Clark three.
Yeah, and it was good stick-to-itiveness, too. That was 2 offensive boards on that series. We're doing pretty well on the board. After the quarter break, it was 9-3 Senators. So, I mean, on the boards, we're doing fine. It's just, turnovers are, we're giving them leak outs and easy buckets.
Parker Green's going to come in. They're going to roll the dice with Parker, who had to sit most of that first quarter with those 2 quick personals against Bosley. Bosley, by the way, soaks those 2. He's now 4 of 4 on the night, and again, an 83% shooter on the year. It's 26-14. Senators give it away again. That's now 13 turnovers here in this first half to just 4 for the Rams.
Nobody's helping Holden out. Somebody's coming from behind. He's not seeing it. Guy deflected it off of him out of bounds.
Senators will reset as Holden comes out to apply some loose pressure on Lawson as he takes it right side. He'll give it to Clark as they go into their half-court set. Now they're trying to get Minton against Parker with those 2 personals. Now it's Minton working against Nichols, and underneath Minton just too strong for Nichols as he got it, missed it, and then a nice job of stripping it away. Partially blocking the shot was Farmer. Bosley couldn't get it to go, and it's last touch by the Rams. So Senators in business, down 12. Long way to go, as we said. 6:29 to go here before the halftime break. At 1-2, 1-1 pressure with Bosley in the middle and Minton back as the safety. Really making the Senators work here in the backcourt as Parker finally gets it across the timeline. Brings it back to the middle, now sends it over to Holden, and he'll settle the troops into the half-court set. Stops, pops, Holden again, this time off the mark and off the back iron. It'll be a leak out for Lawson. He crosses up, Nichols gets into the paint, misses the shot. But there they are with another offensive board as Bobbitt this time able to clean up the mess from Lawson. He's got his first 2, and it's 28-14. And then we'll have a foul on the pressure defense in the full court by the Rams, and this will be their 3rd personal. Foul's going to go against Lawson. So Lawson, Elliott, and Bobbitt with 1 apiece. 6 personals against the Senators, 3 against the Ramblers. 5:56 to go here in the half. Senators into the front court. Nice no look to give it off to Holden. Back to Abels. His 3 against Minton. Got it to go! Splash! As Abels able to drive one home. His first points of the night. And the Senators now shaving that lead down for the Rams just a little more. It's now at 11 at 28-17. Underneath, they try to go to Minton, and he'll be fouled by Farmer before he could turn and get the wide open bunny.
It'll be 1-1, I think.
This will be team foul number 7. So in fact, Minton will go to the line. Minton, a 6'2 senior, averaging nearly 12 a game here early on for Dusty Cole's Rams. 67% free throw shooter, though, something he'll have to try to shore up for the Rams as the season progresses. Carter Elliott's at the bench. He will get Minton after the free throw attempts. Minton 1 of 1 on the night. That one smooth stroke for Minton.
So it's going to take, like the last 4 minutes, we talked about they went off to a 16-0 start. We started to get playing more aggressive instead of, that first 4 minutes we were so passive. And you can't do that against a good team like Paoli or give up offensive boards.
Minton misses. Ball goes off the rim into the hands of Clark. But then Clark throws it away on the feed back to Minton, who couldn't handle the hot pass. So that'll be turnover number 5 of the half for the Rams. Again, the Senators already turning it over 13 times. Chase, though, able to stop in traffic and let Bobbitt try to clear, but Bobbitt says let's play leapfrog instead as he goes over the back of Farmer, picks up team foul number 4. And for Bobbitt, he now owns half of them. He's got his second. Carmichael will jump up off the bench and spell Kobe Bobbitt. 5:24 to go here in the first half of play. Green to inbound. He'll get it into Holden, and they'll let things clear out. Clark will settle back to pick him up. Here's the Rams go back to their half-court man. Nice spin move. Splits the double team and over Bosley. Couldn't get the floater to go. Good move by Holden, though, to free himself up for an opportunity. 3 minutes gone by here in this second quarter of play. 29-17. Senators trailed the whole way. Nice backdoor feed as Carmichael gets the dime to Clark. Clark now has 5, and it's 31-17. Press break. Senators doing a good job of keeping that V formation for a reversal, but Parker gets his pocket picked. And quickly, it is Clark who gets a second straight basket, make it 33-17. Turnover number 14 for the Senators. And another timeout on the floor. This one will be another 30, so Coach Sullivan with just 2 fulls left in his pocket. 4:40 to go. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Senator Basketball on Salem's WSLM.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Tough sledding here early for the Senators, but you got to give them credit, Coach. Despite a nightmarish first quarter where they had 11 turnovers, they now have 14 in the half. They still, they trail it by 16 because of a couple of quick baskets, but they got it down to 11, and this group's going to keep fighting.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Coach Sullivan was talking about in your pregame interview. Will we fight? He didn't think we fought it like we should have against Lagodi, so that's a good thing. But obviously we got to cut down the turnovers, play stronger.
Holden gets it in the middle of the press break. He'll let traffic clear as he races into the front court. And Holden will stop, pop again against Bosley. Left that one short, follows his own miss, gets the rebound, little floater off the glass with a teardrop kiss will go. Holden now with 10 already in this one, 5 in each quarter, make it now 33-19. Carter Elliott looks in the post, wants to get it to Bosley. He's working against the 5'9" Mikey Nichols, and we'll see if Dusty can expose that as he calls his set. He'll get some help side defense there from his buddy down low. Harrison Sanford, ball deflected away. Turnover for the Rams. Coach Cole not pleased with that possession as Parker now brings it into the front court.
That's what we need. We're getting deflections that turn into steals.
You can tell Holden's starting to feel it a little bit offensively, and I don't think he's really got into that zone yet this year. We'll see if they can get him again. They get him on the flare. He'll work now against Clark. Goes into the paint, tries to kick out, and it's a turnover. Another one for the Senators, their 15th. And to the other end, an easy basket underneath for Carter Elliott off the feed from Lawson. And it's 35-19, and then a foul in the backcourt for the Rams. For the Rams, this will be their 5th.
That last
and
possession,
the foul's going to go against Carmichael, his first.
Holden wanted to take it to the rim, and he should have. He got up, and then he decided, I want to pass at the last second. Should have just put it up. Nothing good ever happens when you leave your feet down there on the baseline.
Going to see a little three-quarter court run and jump now for the Rams. That's going to leave Harrison wide open right side. Nice job of crashing the glass as Parker got it. Had it blocked by Bosley. Bosley slings it into the front court on the long outlet pass to Elliott. Now to Carmichael. Dribble handoff, gives it back now. Out front to Elliott, to Lawson. Around the horn it goes to Clark. Sharpshooter on the way. 3 balls good from the corner pocket. That's 2 from the left corner for Clark, and he's got all 10 of his here in the period. Make it 38-19. Senators doubled up once again.
Seems like the Senators just can't hang, consistently with them. We'll get it down to 11 or 12, and then all of a sudden it's a turnover or a splash three. Paoli's, I mean,
And they are
it's
taking
really good.
advantage of every one of our mistakes, whereas we can't take advantage of the few that they're making.
Right. Yeah, we've had them in a difficult rotation a couple times, and then we're just not being aggressive. We just hesitate, and that's what a shot blocker will do. Then all of a sudden, Bosley comes over. He's got 2 blocks already.
Carmichael out. Parker Sullivan, the 6'3" junior, back in again. His first game for the Rams this season, coming off of a knee sprain. As the Senators reset it again. That foul, by the way, on Carmichael, his second team foul, number 6, and another block for the Rams.
This time.
Bosley leads the break again, throws a rocket pass to Lawson, who hauls it in. Lawson used to chucking things around the yard, at least on the gridiron. Deep 3 for Clark, who's feeling it. This one will not go. Rebound fought for as it was Harrison fighting for the board with Parker Sullivan, and I think they're going to get Sullivan for this one. They will. That's his first off the bench. And that's going to be team foul number 7 for the Wranglers as well now. So we'll walk to the other end, and that'll send Harrison Sanford to the line. 2 of 5 on the year for just 40%, averaging 9.5 per game and leading the team with 8 boards per contest.
That makes some hay here, free throw line the last 2.5.
First free throw is up and long, so the Senators cannot capitalize again on the misfortunes of the Rams. Coming up on the 2-minute warning here, this first half of play, 38-19. Senators doubled up by the Rams underneath. They try to throw it to Bosley. He thought he got fouled, but they threw it right into the hands of Parker Green, who tipped it to a teammate to the other end. Senators will try to capitalize. Again, something they haven't always been able to do efficiently here against the few mistakes of the Rams in this first half.
We've had some shots blocked.
Nichols, deep 3, draws nothing but air, and not the shot we wanted. And
Settled.
Coach Sullivan tells him that this is not what we wanted. And we're going to see Bobby Stevens check in, and that may be a curtain call here in this first half for Nichols, and he will have a seat. Ill-advised shot for Coach Sullivan's group in that possession. 38-19, minute 46 to go, as Lawson now will slow things up finally. And the Senators will employ a little bit of their own 1-2-2 half-court defense, and too easy. They get it right to Bosley, who spins middle against Parker with no help side. Make it now 40-19. Bosley with his first field goal of the second quarter, and underneath an acrobatic shot by Holden against traffic.
Hey, he's been
fouled.
on the offense. It was nice take. He knew he was going to draw contact and got the ball up on the rim, hoping for a and one situation. But right now he's our only offense, so I don't mind that take at all.
Foul's going to be on Sullivan, his second. Holden to the free throw line. Soaks that one. He's now 2 of 2 on the night, making him now 8 of 12 on the year. Sullivan sets with the 2 personals off the bench, so not a lot for him in his first action of the year. Coach Cole having a word with his staff, not happy with the production from his junior off the bench, as that one rimmed in and out, put the little hex on Holden. Make it now 40-20. And underneath, too easy for Bosley again. He now has 6 in the period, 12 and a half.
Nobody's rotating. All it is just a simple entry pass. Everybody's just watching.
Largest lead of the night for the Rams at 42-42-20. Bobby Stevens, a rare 3. That one won't go. Another ill-advised shot, more than likely. Not the one that we need attacking from the perimeter when we're already struggling from downtown on the year. Minton back into the ball game. Nice feed right back to Lawson. His 3 won't go. Stevens to fight for the rebound. And it'll be a Rams foul as we'll walk to the other end. And Dusty's going to get clarification.
Whoa, what are they doing?
And now they're going to change it. Coach Sullivan asked, and he says, hey.
Oh, my.
He's like, Mike Benham, what are you doing, man? You're killing me. And they're going to change it. The foul's going to go against Bobby Stevens instead of Mason Buchanan.
That is an awful call.
That'll be 8 personals now for each ball club, and that will send Mason Buchanan to the free throw line for the 1 and bonus opportunity, and he cashes in. So another example of things going wrong.
Yeah, when they go wrong, they go wrong. Bobby had position. I don't know how he made that.
But that was the law of verticality. He goes flying in. It's not like he was being blocked out and he actually went over the back. Bobby actually got up over top.
He had the actual rebound. I'd already marked down the rebound.
First free throw was up, so was the second. So bonus opportunity for Buchanan. He is able to cash in for his first two of the night, making now 20-44. And with
Maybe
coming
we
up
can
on
end with
30
something
seconds to
good
play,
here.
Senators need something desperately as Parker will take a nice strong drive to the rack. And he'll be fouled by Carter Elliott, who picks up his second, team foul number 9. 33 and a half to
Parker's
play.
second attempted shot. He's going to go to the line. He's our leading scorer.
Nearly 18 a game.
18 a game.
Yep.
And he's shot the ball one time, basically.
Free throw is up and no good for Parker, who's been a steady rock for us at the charity stripe. Already 18 to 25 coming into this one for 72%. First free throw missed. Second one on the way. It is good. So Parker finally breaks into the scoring column with 33.5 left on the clock here in this first half. Make it 44-21. Senators back to that little 1-2-2. Now they'll come out and apply some pressure. Instead they'll match up. Showed the zone. Slip into a half-court man here as we dip under 30 seconds to play. Charlie Meredith into the ball game for his first minutes of the half, a 5'10 senior who has not scored for the Rams yet in varsity play this season. Coach Cole calls out what he wants, calls his half-court set pinch. See what we get. We're going to get a little pinch screen up at the free throw line, and that's going to free up the three-point shooter in that set, and that was Mason Buchanan. His first field goal, what a timely one, as he gets the pinch screen up top from Clark and Minton at the free throw line. They close the gate on the Senators defensively. They cannot close out on Buchanan. He gets the tray ball, and the Rams will go in with their largest lead of the game at 47-21. Coach Gibson and I will step aside. We'll start adding up the numbers from this first half of play, and we'll come back to begin our Senator Halftime Report, brought to you by McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem. Tonight you're listening to the Senators, as always, on Salem's 1220. We'll be back right after this.
This just in. Despite what you may have heard, life is a game. Really. Anybody that says otherwise has never played a sport. Think about it. Sports teach us useful life lessons. Sayings like, hard work pays off, patience is a virtue, and there are no shortcuts take on a whole new meaning once you've played sports. Competition toughens us up, too. It forces us to push ourselves, and it reminds us not to take anything in life for granted. At the end of the day, when the final whistle blows, sports teach lessons that can make us better athletes and teammates. More importantly, they teach us lessons that can help prepare us for life. So yeah, life is a game, and each of the more than 160,000 high school athletes in Indiana is better off for playing. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Back to begin our Senator halftime report here at the Ron Smith Court. Senators in a pickle here in this first half as they are outmanned, outmatched, and out everything in that first 16 minutes of play. And they trail it by their largest margin of the night, 47-21 here at the halftime break. Let's run down the scoring for both of these clubs through the first 16 minutes of play. Quite a bit to talk about for the Rams, not so much for the Senators in this first half, as the Rams already have a couple of guys in double figures and a couple knocking on the door. Ty Lawson with 9 all in that first quarter of play, including 1 or 2 from the free throw line. Jordan Clark, 10 points all in the second quarter, including 2 big shots from that left corner deep for his 10 in the half. Carter Elliott off the bench with 2. Ashton Minton chips in 7, including 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. Brett Bosley leads the way for the Rams with 12 in the first half, including 4 of 4 from the charity stripe. And Hobie Bobbitt, the other starter, chips in 2 in the second quarter of play from the field. Mason Buchanan chips in 5 off the bench, including 2 of 2 from the charity stripe, and a triple there at the end of the half. Austin Carmichael, Charlie Meredith, and Parker Sullivan play for Dusty Cole in that first half, but are unable to tally. The Rams, 4 turnovers in the first quarter, 3 in the second quarter, for a total of 7 in the first 16 minutes of action, and they shoot a blistering 82% from the charity stripe, 9 of 11 in that first half of play. Meanwhile, for the Senators, they get 11 from Holden, trying to keep pace with the sophomore, enemy, foe, whatever you want to call him, former AAU teammate Brett Bosley across the way, as Holden has 11 in the half, including 2 of 3 from the charity stripe, and he's got one of our only 2 triples in the first half of play. Caden Abels with 3, including a 3-point basket there in the second quarter. Parker Green, a quiet half for him, did not score until 33.5 seconds left to go in the first half of play on 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Harrison Sanford with 2 points in the first half, 0 of 1 from the free throw line, and Jake Strange started but was unable to tally. Off the bench, Bobby Stevens, Mikey Nichols, and Chase Farmer all play in an 8-man rotation for Coach Sullivan. Stevens and Nichols chip in 2 apiece, both in the first quarter. Farmer, the other one to go scoreless with Strange in the first half of play. Senators, the big storyline, 15 turnovers, with 11 of those 15 coming in the first quarter of action, and the Senators shoot 3 of 5 from the charity stripe in that first half of play. So only 5 attempts to 11 for the Rams, and the Rams again cashing in and doing their part. They scored 21 in the first quarter to the Senators 11, that the Rams able to put up 26 in that second quarter of play to just 10 for Coach Sullivan's ball club. We'll step aside, we'll take a break, get a word in from a quick sponsor, and then we'll come back and let Coach Gibson run down some of our other statistics here team-wise from this first half of play. You're listening to the Senator Halftime Report, brought to you by McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem, and you're listening to Senator Basketball here on your leader for Southern Indiana sports coverage, WSLM, so Salem's 1220.
For 80 years, Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem has made thousands of both car and truck shoppers car and truck buyers. And that commitment to customer sales and service continues to pay off. It's more than low prices and incentives and service after the sale. You've been hearing that for the second year in a row, they've been awarded the 2017 Ford President's Award. I mean, to win something that only 340 Ford dealerships across the country out of over 5,000, well, that's pretty special, wouldn't you say? The President's Award is based upon achieving the highest level of customer sales, service satisfaction, and overall experience. And the credit not only goes to manager Steve Motzinger and his entire staff, but to you, the buying public. If you've already purchased a new or pre-owned Ford, car, truck, or SUV from Eddie Gilstrap Motors, you already know what we mean. Congratulations from everyone at WSLM Radio. Eddie Gilstrap Motors, your #1 choice. On the web at EddieGilstrapMotorsINC.com.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup.
Temple & Temple has a long history of being a reliable contractor that provides a superior service. Established in 1948, 2 brothers, Walter Temple and Howard Temple, founded this company. with a commitment to quality and a knack for doing that which others couldn't. After being in business for 70 years, Temple & Temple still holds true to the ideals of its founder, providing unique solutions to even the toughest problems. Temple & Temple has found there is no substitute for experience and a tradition of excellent work. Excavating, paving, concrete work, and bridge work are just a few of the categories the company has worked within over the years. No matter what the challenge, Temple & Temple will find the answer for your solution.
Where Paoli leads your West Washington Senators 47-21. Not much went right that first half. Senators showed some fight. It was 21-11 after the first quarter, but then it looked like we had some things going, and then all of a sudden they burst to 26 points to the Senators 10. So at halftime we're 47-21. Some quick stats here. Team-wise, Paoli shooting 13 of 28 inside the arc for 46%. 4 of 8. They didn't really shoot a ton of threes, but they did efficiently 50% for 4 of 8. Totally, they were 17 of 36 for 47%. And like Misty said, they were 9 of 11 from the free throw line for 82%. Senators shoot 6 of 14 inside the arc for 43%. 2 of 10 from behind the arc. A couple of them were last second heaves, but again, 20% not great, but that's actually better than what we're shooting on the season. But again, we got to find that answer somehow behind the arc. They were 8 of 24 total for 33%. Rebounding, the Senators held their own with a 15-14 edge, 5 offensive boards to Paoli's 4. But where we're getting really hurt as 8 steals for Paoli to West Washington's 4. Paoli also dished the rock really, really well for 12 assists, where the Senators only had 4, all 4 by Holden Bousman. I mean, Holden was the only bright spot, like you said, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. So, I mean, he's got to get some help.
And that does it for the stats in our first half analysis here on our Senator Halftime Report as we open up the third quarter of action. Senators open with the rock and working against the Rams' 26-point advantage here as the Rams come up with a turnover and able to score. Lawson acrobatic as he's fallen to the floor. He's now into double figures. That's the 3rd Ram to get there. He joins Clark and Bosley. He's now got 11 in the ball game, make it 49-21. And underneath, Holden tries to go off glass, would not go. Ball tipped into the hands of Lawson, and now he'll lead the break again. Nice no-look feed underneath to Bobbitt. They'll kick it out to Clark. Cross court now to Bosley. He'll look to go off the dribble, and he'll be bumped on the floor by Jake Strange. He'll pick up his 3rd, team foul number 1 for either club here in the half.
Fouls on 32, Jake Strange. That's his.
By the way, while we got a moment here on the reset, Senator JV fell tonight to 1-3 on the year as they fell 51-27 to the JV Rams. And nice steal as Bosley had his pocket picked by Sanford, who fell to the floor, and now it looks like he may be a little bit gimpy. Senators give it right back off the turnover. Lawson scores, so Lawson scores back-to-back baskets to start the third off of 2 Senator turnovers. And Tim Young will stop play to check on Harrison, who's limping around, kind of gimpy. Just over a minute gone by here in the third. It is 51-21, and the Rams, with a 30-point lead, are going to throw on the 1-2-1-1 press.
You don't sound too pleased with that.
Well, I'm just thinking, sometimes coaches, well, never mind, I'm not getting into that. I bet Tom Rosenbaum's not listening. Minute and a half gone by here in the third.
Another turnover. Holden kind of air-mailed one to the corner. But nobody's moving. I mean, somebody's got to start moving. Somebody's got to cut to the basket. We have 2 turnovers to start. That's
17 turnovers now for the Senators. Bosley turns, fires over Strange, can't get it to go. Minton tips it, couldn't get it to go. Second rebound, and there's those second chance points. Minton with a couple of offensive boards on that trip. And Minton now with 9 as he knocks on the door, trying to be the 4th Ram into double figures. It's 53-21, 32-point advantage. Coach Sullivan has lost the tie since halftime. And the Senators turn it over for the 3rd time to start the quarter. It'll be a full timeout for Coach Sullivan. He asks Tim Young for it and gets it granted.
This just in. Despite what you may have heard, life is a game. Really. Anybody that says otherwise has never played a sport. Think about it. Sports teach us useful life lessons. Sayings like, hard work pays off, patience is a virtue, and there are no shortcuts take on a whole new meaning once you've played sports. Competition toughens us up, too. It forces us to push ourselves, and it reminds us not to take anything in life for granted. At the end of the day, when the final whistle blows, sports teach lessons that can make us better athletes and teammates. More importantly, they teach us lessons that can help prepare us for life. So yeah, life is a game, and each of the more than 160,000 high school athletes in Indiana is better off for playing. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Timeout, 5:59 to go here in the 3rd. 53-21. To finish my thought, what I was going to say a while ago is, I've heard ridicule, and this is the way I'm going to put it. I've heard ridicule for coaches pressing with big leads before, and you're seeing a senior-laden team do it to a younger team right now up 32. And most of the time, that was the person that getting ridiculed was setting back in a half-court defense instead of a full-court press as the Rams applied the 1-2-1-1 pressure. I guess that's the best way to put it without getting too technical. And Lawson answers off the curl. He's hot out of the locker room with 7 in the quarter already, 16 in the game now.
Another turnover and another steal.
19 turnovers now, and Lawson trying to feed to Clark. Nice hustle to get on the floor to save the possession. Bosley dives at the feet of Holden. And on the jump ball tie-up.
Lawson had a 3.
It will stay with the Rams, yes. 5:25 to go here in the 3rd.
Then he gets the steal.
Nichols in. Abel's out. We'll trade 5'9" senior for 5'9" senior. We'll get it into Bosley on the inbounds play. 2.5 gone by in the quarter. Skip it cross court now. And back out to Lawson. He'll kick it back to the corner. And another 3 for the Rams. And this one by Carter Elliott. He's now got 5. And everybody now joining the fray on the offensive end. 59.
These guys are sharks and we're minnows right now.
I don't even know if we're minnows, Coach. 59-21. Holden 3. Left side, it will not go. Rebound tipped out. It comes to the Rams. Jordan Clark feeds it to Minton now in the front court. Lawson will fly in out of control. How is that not a charge? If the one in the first half was. No whistle on the contact. It's whistle away on the other side. Schaefer with the whistle, and this one's going to go against Harrison Sanford. He picks up his 3rd. Team foul number 2 of the half.
Hits the floor with nobody's. That's twice the ball's been on the floor. I'm not too sure we've got a 50-50 ball yet.
Nice little shimmy shake on the shoulder move by Minton, and he gets the baby hook to fall. And the Rams still applying some full court pressure, now up 40 points.
Like they want to play. That's like the 3rd or 4th time the ball's been on the ground. Nobody wants to go get it. Got some guys not sure they wanted to play these Rams.
61-21. Senators yet to finish at the rim or score here in the quarter, and we're at the halfway point of the period. Bosley thought about the step back, kicks to Carter Elliott. Now he's feeling it. Elliott now with 6 in the quarter, 8 in the game, and these guys just starting to fill up the stat sheet. 64-21. Senators taken to the woodshed, and that's where they're getting locked in for the night. There's no coming back from this one. 3:50 and counting.
We got a game tomorrow, a winnable game, and we better start getting some momentum.
And against a likely sectional opponent at that, as Nichols tries to answer. He can't hit the 3. And then Bosley had it stripped away from behind. Turnover number 9. And Parker Green gets the easy basket, his first field goal of the night at the 3.5-minute mark of the quarter. Rams finally cool off, get a miss, and Harrison pushes in transition. Nice spin move, works against Bosley, and then nearly throws it away. Out of control. Coach Sullivan's not only lost the tie, but he's rolled up the sleeves as Harrison will have a seat. Get a word from Coach Sullivan. Bobby Stevens will check in. We'll see Bosley check out with Clark and Minton. Fresh faces into the ball game. Carmichael.
It's not like we're just going to call it right now. You know what I mean? We need some
Yep.
momentum going in. It's another double dip in a game we need to win.
Mikey gets an easy shot off the inbounds pass off the glass for his 4th point of the night. Make it now 64
So
to 25.
first time somebody other than Holden's got an assist.
3 ball for Lawson. He'll try it. Lets it fly from the right wing. Won't go. Rebound fought for. Holden comes out with it. One arm sling into the front court. Jake had it blocked. 6'5". Had it blocked. Senators turn it over. Their 5th of the quarter. 20th of the game. And to the other end, Rams race down. 3 ball on the way. Will not go on the heat check. And Buchanan, who could not connect on that one, gives up a 3 in transition, and we have a foul here. And Jake Strange, that's a stupid foul. I mean, that is dumb, period. I don't care if it's our kids or not, Coach. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Jake comes down out of
He
frustration.
lets his emotions get him. He thought he got fouled, so he's just going to shove, he's a young guy. He's got to learn.
That's ignorance in the game of basketball. You come down and you get a shot to go. It's
count?
already embarrassing enough. It counted.
Okay.
Nichols hit the 3, but then you go down and chuck a guy in the back. That's nonsense.
Yeah, some of these young guys have to start learning some basketball.
You got to call it like you see it, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the quarter. And getting into traffic, the Rams draw another whistle and another foul against the Senators. And this one's going to go against Parker
We go back
Green.
to talk about, you say call it like you see it. Let's go back to his pregame talk. Will we fight? At times, I don't think we fought tonight. We've letting the ball roll around on the ground. I think we have some guys that kind of have backed off the Ramblers. Communication. We've had 3 or 4, 5 turnovers where nobody's talking. 3-point D. They've got us on 3-pointers. Can we handle the pressure? He wanted 10 to 12 turnovers. Had 15 in the first half.
Senators come up with a steal, though, on the inbound set. And then Nichols is going to give it right back. Then the Rams trade turnovers. And now we'll have a sarcastic clap of the hands from some of the Senator faithful. And it's going to be an and-one opportunity for Parker Green. As he was able to connect. He's now got 5. And Buchanan's going to pick up his first personal of the night. Team foul number 1 of the half. 4 whistled already against the Senators in the period. $1:58 to go here in the third, and Parker connects. Now 2 of 3. And it is now 64 to 31, a 33-point advantage for the Rams.
And we knew this was going to be a tough game. This is a great basketball team, but like we said, we need to do something to start gaining some momentum, going into tomorrow. And we got the holiday tournament coming up next week.
Yep. Underneath, nice dribble drive take as Carter Elliott scores at will. Now he's in the double figures with 10. And the barrage of points continue for the Ramblers here, back to a 35-point advantage, 66-31.
Yeah, came in averaging 64. They're 66 already.
Nichols will fire another one from 3-ball land, and just like last year, he heated up against the Rams when it was too little too late. He's already got 10 now.
Maybe he's starting to feel it. Holden realizes that. He's assisted on both those baskets.
Lawson still under the ball game. Flips it back out top. Around the corner it goes from Meredith. Over to Elliott. And Lawson controls again under a minute to play here in the third. Rams operating with a 32-point lead as we roll toward the 4th and final quarter of play. And again, right now, as Coach said, it becomes a matter of pride here going into this last quarter with a tough road game up at Trinity Lutheran looming tomorrow night, a possible sectional opponent come March.
One of our possible sectional favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a lot of pieces back too. A veteran ball club for Coach Stuckwish.
Are both Gurkers back? I think both Gurkers are back. They had a freshman that was pretty good too.
Mark Sperry's back.
Mark Sperry.
Yep. Got
I think they lost. Rowe was the only senior. I think.
Jacob Rowe gone to graduation. Everybody else pretty much back. As the Rams turn it over for the 5th time in the quarter, 12th in the period, and Mikey Nichols count it as time expires. Something to maybe give the fans a little bit to be excited about. 66-36 as the red light comes on. We'll roll into the 4 Senators down by 30. We'll be back with more right after this word from Ace Hardware, Salem.
With the very best gifts from the very best brands, Ace makes finding the perfect present easier than ever. Wow your family with new and innovative gifts from the Grommet. Or give Dad something he'll really love from his favorite brands like Craftsman, Weber, Traeger, and Yeti. Plus, make your holiday less hectic and save time by buying your gifts online and picking them up in store for free. So this holiday, take everything you love about Christmas and wrap it in red. Only at your neighborhood Ace.
To begin the 4th quarter of action here from inside the friendly confines here in Camelsburg. Senators getting thumped here tonight, 66-36 through 3 quarters of play. Rams have led by as many as 43 in this one. It was 64-21 at one point there early in the 3rd. Abels, Nichols opens up with Green, Bousman, and Farmer to start the 4th. Bousman shot in and out, no good. Little jumper from 12 feet away won't go. Carmichael leads the break. Meredith gives it off to Sullivan. His baseline jumper left side will go. And Parker Sullivan has his first points of the year for the Rams, again coming off of a 4-game layoff, starting the year with some problems with his knee, a little knee sprain, and scores his first varsity points here against the Senators. And Abels hits a 3. That's his 2nd of the night, giving him 6 in the contest. And it's 68-39.
So again, like I said, we have 7 minutes, a little bit more fight here to start the 4th, but again, struggling on the boards.
And still struggling as we give up another offensive board. Right now out on the floor, a lot of younger guys. And I say younger, I should say more reserve role player guys. You got Sullivan out there with Charlie Meredith, Carter Elliott, Mason Buchanan, Austin Carmichael, 5 guys that are role players strictly, and Coach Cole letting his guys keep getting a taste through 3 quarters, and we'll have an offensive foul, which will be a turnover.
Count the basket.
And we're going to get a shove from behind on Mason Buchanan, who picks up his 2nd personal, team foul number 2.
So it was after the shot.
And the basket was
Sullivan.
So he's got 4. Make it now 70-39. Again, the JV fell here as well tonight. Fell to a 1-3 mark, which is what the Senators varsity squad will fall to as well. JV fell 51-27. 3 ball is an air ball for the Senators, and have to go back to work at the defensive end. 6:28 to play in this one. 70-39 your score. Nichols, Bousman, Abels, Green, and Farmer. May not see our bigs touch the floor again here tonight, Coach.
That might be a blessing because they were not good tonight.
A foul on the dribble drive, and if this is on Parker, that'll be his 4th, team foul number 5.
They didn't compete well in my eyes.
Or at all, in my opinion. Right out of the gate, you get sucker punched, and it's 16-0. You know, sometimes it's hard to get a little bit of fight about you, but at some point, you know, Parker Sullivan scores again at
This guy's
will.
gonna,
You know, it's kind
lighten it up.
It's kind of like last year, Coach. I'm reminded of going over to Paoli, and quite frankly, on the gridiron, we stunk against them, and we were getting taken to the woodshed in that first half, and even through the third quarter, they come out and score again after halftime, and I can remember just yelling out pride. It's about pride. At some point, no matter what you're down by, you gotta decide. I know it's high school sports, and sometimes, you know, I've heard it. Well, these are teenage boys, these are teenage girls. They're gonna go home, go to bed, get up in the morning. They shake it off, forget about it. Why get so uptight? Well, because sometimes I don't think the younger generation that we see playing now sometimes always exhibits the same pride that maybe there used to be. I mean, at some point, like I said, it's a matter of standing up for the honor of your school, for your team, your program, and showing a little bit of guts.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Mikey Nichols will fire 3 from up top again.
And we're starting to settle for some, trying to get some long-range daggers.
Start chucking it from the seats with 2.5 to go, and some fans already filing out of this one. Paoli brought an excellent crowd down Highway 56 as the Rams nearly turn it over.
Again, that's another 50-50. The ball's on the ground, and who's come up with every single one of them? The guys in purple.
Yep. Buchanan sends it back out. Meredith to Carmichael. Back to Hobie Bobbitt. Now back out to Buchanan, as the Rams will continue to run their offense, or try to at least, and burn some clock as we dip under 5 minutes to go, and that'll be a whistle and a travel. So with some role guys in, some of the reserves getting a bulk of the minutes here in the fourth, we see turnovers start to become an issue. That's already 7 for the Rams, which matches their first half total. So you say 14 turnovers. Wow, Paoli not taking very good care of the ball as Holden nails a 3 from the left side, but kind of got to put an asterisk beside that stat, Coach.
You gonna put an asterisk? We're not counting that one, or?
Well, no. The 14 turnovers. I mean, because that's not all on the varsity guys. Were a well-oiled machine for Coach Cole.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and underneath, speaking of well-oiled machine, nice post feed, textbook to Carter Elliott, who turns. Nice little baby hook for him. He's now got 12 in the contest. Make it 74 to 42, to a 32-point advantage. Holden has it, bodied up by Hobie Bobbitt, or excuse me, by Charlie Meredith. And Meredith played the passing lane. Holden, he'll fire 3. That one will not go. Farmer fighting for the rebound. And Coach Sullivan takes another deep breath out of frustration, and the foul will be on Farmer. And this will be team foul number 6 against the Senators in the half. And for Farmer, he picks up his second. We dip under the halfway point here of this fourth quarter of play. Coach, I'm not so sure Paoli fans don't outnumber the Senator fans here tonight.
They did bring a nice crowd. And when you're rolling like these guys are, I mean, you start getting some crowds.
Buchanan missed the 3 at the other end. Nichols pulled down the board. Senators back in action. The offensive end, Nichols thought about stop and pop. Instead gives it off to Green, and Parker Green. That might be his first 3-pointer, or second at least, of the year. He may have hit one up at Lagoa the other night.
He hit our very first one. Holden with a little deflection.
74-45.
Green came up with the steal.
Back at the other end after the turnover by the Ramblers. Their 8th of the half and 15th of the game. Have a foul on Hobie Bobbitt. That'll be his 3rd personal. Team foul number 3. Team foul number 4. And we will see Mason Buchanan check out of the game.
I'd still like to see us, run some offense. This is obviously their second unit, but, like I said, we can work on things here.
Still all reserves here. Again, the varsity players lick their chops for 3 quarters as Holden left one short on the dribble drive left baseline, and quickly in transition, Carter Elliott comes up with it, and he'll be fouled. At this point, you got to ask yourself why. Let that clock run. 3:02 to go. Foul's going to go against Mikey Nichols, who picks up his first personal. That's the 7th whistled against the team. 74-45. Bobby Stevens to check in on this dead ball opportunity. And Holden Bousman, that may be it for Holden for the night with 3:02 to go.
I still think he had a couple turnovers. A couple weren't his fault, but people maybe they're seeing it. Do you look for that stuff on when you watch film and stuff that you're able to get back tap, on the steals? I mean, it happened to him 3 times.
Well, and it happened 3 times out of the gate up at Lagodi. That's
Exactly.
a problem that's got to be fixed, and that's all about communication, as Carter Elliott missed to the front end of the bonus. 0 for 1 on the night for him.
But I thought he had a nice game.
He did.
It's one of
he was
few.
our only little bit of a pulse in the first half, as Nichols nearly had it poked away. Stevens will get into traffic and try to finish off the glass. Can't get it to go. Bobby's worked on that part of his game, trying to finish at the rim, but get the friendly roll off the backboard. 2:38 to play, and this will go against Austin Carmichael as he picks up his 3rd of the game. Team foul number 5, and Bobby Stevens to the free throw line, 1 of 2 on the year for 50%. And he cashes in here, so Bobby's got 3 on the night.
Chase has given us a little bit of energy when he's come in as well. That's a Farmers, especially in the first half, came in, got a few rebounds, a couple steals. He's given a little bit of energy. Nice job, Bobby.
And Bobby cashes in on both, so give Bobby 4 on the night. Bobby's career high at the varsity level is 5, so see if he can't pick up another basket. Improve his career high is underneath. Senators nearly come up with a steal, and we may have an over the back. Tim Young right now maybe blowing the mercy whistle. It will go
Quite
against
in the one-on-one yet.
Yep. Obi Bobbitt will pick up his 4th. 6th whistled against the Ramblers. 2:23 to go in this one. This one's been over for a long time. 74-47. As Abels brings it into the front court. Out there with Green, Farmer, Stevens, and Nichols. True small ball for Coach Sullivan, and we'll have a whistle and a foul.
Yeah,
that'll be it for Mr. Bobbitt.
Bailed out there.
And Bobbitt will foul out with 2 points on the night. And Bobby Stevens back to the line, Coach.
Yeah, it's Bobby's kind of got a little bit too quick there. He kind of got bailed out. He actually might have tripped over Bobbitt's foot, and he just got the call. But you're going to get those kind of calls in the 74-47 ball game. So sometimes Bobby goes just a little too quick. He needs to slow it down just a tad. We talked about that last weekend. Coming home from Lagodi, that sometimes he gets going a little bit too fast as he makes the first in of the 1-on-1.
Second one's up and good as well. So Bobby 4 for 4, 6 points on the night, and that's a new career high for Bobby Stevens at the varsity level. 74.
2 rebounds and a steal to go along with it.
49. 2-minute warning in this one. And underneath they'll lob it to Parker Sullivan. His shot partially blocked. Good rebound for Chase Farmer. Senators definitely a short time to regroup here, Coach. Less than 24 hours. They'll hop on the bus just like last week after a home game, and they'll head north once again, but northeast this time, as they'll head up to Seymour to take on the Cougars of Trinity Lutheran tomorrow night.
And again, how do we respond? We came off of a win last week. How do we respond coming off a big loss like this in your first conference?
Senators turn it over for the 7th time of the half. 22nd turnover of the game. Approaching the 1-minute mark remaining in this one. And again, fans slowly starting to file out from at least the Paoli side, trying to beat the traffic home on Highway 56. And it looked like a clean block on the help side for Farmer.
You say Farmer's got 4 rebounds and 2 blocks. That should have been his 3rd. That might have been his cleanest one of the night.
Should be team foul number 8, and for Farmer, his 3rd. And that will send Mason Buchanan to the stripe with 70 seconds to play. Tell you what, Coach Cole's got a group that's well-oiled, as I said earlier, and they are going to be a handful for teams throughout the month of not only December, but all the way up to the tournament.
Yeah,
and I got to tell you, it's not a team you want to draw on the opening night of sectional play.
Absolutely not. You missed the first of them.
Wholesale exchanges here. Parker Green's night is finished along with the 2 seniors, Nichols and Abels, as Bryce Brown checks into the ball game, a 5'11 sophomore. And we also see 6'5 junior Easton Bishop into the ball game. And we'll see Tyler Cox, a 6'1 senior, check in for his first minutes of the night as well. So Abel's done with 6 points.
He missed his first free throw. Now we have a little bit of a...
Tuck his jersey in. Buchanan to the line. He's got 5.
Missed his first.
First one no good, second one no good, and Farmer comes up with the rebound. Zane Anderson into the ball game for the Rams.
Yeah, that's the problem with Bobby being the point. He's not confident.
As Senators turn it over again, under a minute to go now in this one. So see 22,
Just a little
Aaron
lazy
Busick
pass.
check
He
in.
doesn't, sometimes you think, they're not going to play real hard with this type of lead, but, these young kids for Paoli, they want to show something as well.
Caleb Van Meter, a 6-foot sophomore, into the ball game with Zane Anderson and Aaron Busick.
This is the second game. I was really impressed with Lagodi as well. We've played a couple of really tough teams, but, you got to get better with it. This isn't the way they wanted it. They knew it was going to be tough going in, wanted to compete, and Carroll had it as a prediction, like a 13-point.
He had it 70 to 49.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I must have been looking at a different one. Maybe Saturday's game.
Yeah, tomorrow night's an 18-point under.
We need to, and it all started in first quarter, I think. I mean, when you start out 16-0, it's going to be a tough night. So you got to be out, especially when you're playing a team that's going to be ranked in 2A. We played a team, Lagodi's right outside of ranked 1A. You play a ranked team, you better be sure you're ready to play when that ball is tossed up, and I don't think we were either game.
Definitely not out of the gate. Senators fall here tonight 74 to 49, dropping them now to 1-3 on the start, and it does not get any easier. As we said, they will hop on the bus tomorrow night and head to Seymour for what should be a very intriguing possible sectional preview as they'll take on the Cougars of Trinity Lutheran. We'll talk about that one as well in our Senator postgame wrap-up, brought to you by Ace Hardware of Salem. We'll come back and start our postgame festivities after this. You're listening to the Senators tonight on WSLM, Salem's 1220.
For 80 years, Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem has made thousands of both car and truck shoppers car and truck buyers. And that commitment to customer sales and service continues to pay off. It's more than low prices and incentives and service after the sale. You've been hearing that for the second year in a row, they've been awarded the 2017 Ford President's Award. I mean, to win something that only 340 Ford dealerships across the country out of over 5,000, well, that's pretty special, wouldn't you say? The President's Award is based upon achieving the highest level of customer sales, service satisfaction, and overall experience. And the credit not only goes to manager Steve Motzinger and his entire staff, but to you, the buying public. If you've already purchased a new or pre-owned Ford, car, truck, or SUV from Eddie Gilstrap Motors, you already know what we mean. Congratulations from everyone at WSLM Radio. Eddie Gilstrap Motors, your #1 choice. On the web at EddieGilstrapMotorsINC.com.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight, alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sidelines, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.